What's up, y'all? It's your girl Vashti Denise, and this is your review and recap of Tia My Next Act Season 1, Episode 6. All right, y'all, let's get right into it. This is Season 1, Episode 6 of Tia My Next Act, titled TV Mama Knows Best. And it actually gets a bit juicy in this episode, y'all. I'm just saying, we got some stuff to talk about. Okay. So let's talk. So we open the episode with Tia going to an audition for a movie, TV show, we're not sure. But she gives some commentary about how she would rather do Zoom auditions. Sometimes being physically in the audition room can be intimidating because you're seeing, the people that are also auditioning for this role. Now, Tia, let's be real. There were four other women in that hallway, and none of them look like they can play any role that you play. Well, what was this for? What was this really for? If you wanted us to meet the director of the game, that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. She goes into the audition, and the director is like, Tia, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here? And he's trying to be nice, but he's basically saying that the role that she's auditioning for is it's supposed to look like a woman in her, late 40s, early 50s. He didn't give an exact age, but he did say that this role reads for a more mature actor, a more seasoned actor. And he doesn't mean professionally. He literally means age-wise. And it was just too cute. Like, she was like, I'm 45. What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, but Tia, you read for a 30-year-old. And that's so true. She got a young face. Okay. So there's no way I would believe that she's like a 50-year-old in a movie. Like, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? And it's a compliment, girl. Take it. You look young. Take it. She talks about how for Sister Sister, she didn't have to do an audition. She said that she was on set, her and her sister were taken on set of Full House by her mom because their little brother Taj was in the show on that episode, and she didn't have a babysitter for Taj. If any of you all don't know, when minors work on sets, if it's for more than 4 hours, you have to have a babysitter or a tutor there outside of the parent, just to ensure that, multiple people are watching the kid, they're getting all the education they're supposed to within this time. So yeah, but he probably wasn't on set for 8 hours, so they didn't need a whole tutor, but they did need a babysitter. So Tia and Tamara went on set to, be with him and to help out. And one of the producers, Ken Bass, saw them and said, we're going to develop a show around you two as twins. Like, how do you feel about that? And that's definitely a rare case, right? It's very rare when when production comes to the actor or the creative and says that we want to write something for you, right? Usually it's the talent that writes something for themselves, and then you have to find production. So this was definitely ordained by God for them to have Sister Sister. And I can see how it can be a bit rough to transition out of that because it gives you a certain level of privilege, right? It's like I had my own show and I didn't even have to audition. And now here I am deep into my career and I'm having to audition. Like, what is this? But I think she handles it with grace. And it was a really cute like scene. It just really showed that she's still active as an actor, and I thought that was really cool. She has a great mommy moment with Cairo. They're painting, and it was just so cute because she asked Cairo, like, in the midst of them painting, she's like, so do you really want to be an actor like mommy and daddy? And Cairo's like,
No, no, mommy, I don't.
and I love that for Cairo. I love that for her. Like, she is definitely, I feel like Cairo is everything that Tia wants to be. Cairo is literally just like completely unapologetic about who she is. So I think this is great for Tia. I think Cairo is going to pull her and push her in many different places before she really figure out where she wants to land in life. And I think that's amazing. Explore it all, girl. So, of course, the title is called TV Mama Knows Best. And yes, Tia has played a TV mother multiple times, but she's not referring to herself in this case. She is referring to Jackée Harry. And don't act like you don't know who Jackée is, okay? She is the iconic mother that played on Sister Sister. And she's played on so many other things, 227, just an amazing actress. And it's just so beautiful to see the connection between her and Tia. She's obviously her second mother, and they just gush over each other for a while. Jackée comes over, they have a glass of wine. And another thing that I love about Jackée is she's like that rich aunt, right? She is like, look, you gonna do what you want to do. I already know. I got your back. Forget everybody else. Like, let's have a glass of wine and let's talk. And I love that. I love that. So they just have a good kiki. Tia expresses how much she admires how Jackée navigates through life, and she feels blessed to have her to help navigate throughout her life, especially in this time. And she expresses the fact that yes, Jackée has known Tia since she was 13 on the show, and they have been very close ever since. So she has been there throughout her and Corey's relationship. Jackée talks about how she is still close with Tia and Tamara, right? And even in this moment, it's a bit awkward. I defended Tia after the first episode, saying, like, we don't know how close her and Tamara really are, but we really don't. Like, this was another moment that posed another question as to, like, are y'all really talking? Like, what's going on? Because Jackée was like, oh yeah, I was just at Tamara's house in Napa last weekend. Like, it's beautiful up there. And Tia's like,
Yeah, it's so nice up there.
and she kind of tries to change the subject, and it's like, do you not want to talk about Tamara? And then Jackée gets a little shady. I wouldn't say it was shade, but she was just telling the truth. I agree with her, honestly. She was saying how T and Tamara are really different people, right? Completely different people that have their own personalities, if not completely opposite of each other, right? She said that Tamara is more of the domestic producer, idealistic type person, as opposed to Tia, who is more of the actor, creative. She even said sexy. She said that Tia was sexy, which in my case is implying that Tamara is not. And no shade, but I agree. At this point, in their careers, you're able to separate them fully because they've been in other productions. And you can tell from the way that they have portrayed those roles that they're completely different in life. And also, we have social media. So we can see how they operate, right? And we all see Tamara churning the butter and pounding the grapes on the vineyard with her husband and her two kids. Very domestic, very Little House on the Prairie. And it's cute. It's cute for her. You know, the little milkmaid dresses. She is adorable and loving her life, honestly. It makes sense, right? But you can tell that Tia, and Jackée said this, that Tia is more career oriented. And I do believe that she implied that that's what bled into her divorce. Jackée talks about how she has been married 3 times and divorced 3 times, right? So she has 3 ex-husbands. And they brought up like the guilt of it all. And she was like, well, why do you feel guilt? And, she's like, well, it was a failed marriage. Like, there's so many things that go into it. And you feel like a failure at the end of it. And she puts out that you can't help when your partner is struggling on their own. She goes a little bit into the fact that Corey may have confided in her about not being able to provide the way that Tia does. And even in his career, that he wasn't landing roles the way that Tia was. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is a moment that I really wanted them to dive into because now we're really talking about what happened in the marriage. I'm assuming that I was right. That a lot of us were right when it was the fact that them two as actors could not fully get it together. That is a reason why me as a creative, I am so attracted to a atypical person, right? Like somebody that is business oriented, suit and tie, tech world, like completely opposite of the creative world, because you can't eliminate that competition no matter how hard you try, especially as actors. Even though we're talking about a male and a female, he can't play any of her roles and she can't play any of his roles. But just the fact that she was working more than him was enough to obviously make him feel a bit emasculated. And there may have been a breaking point to where they both felt like we can't be in this marriage anymore and both pursue our careers. And that's a tough place to be in. She said it's hunting season, okay? She was like, you need to be dating, you need to be out here having fun. But Tia is like, I'm over it already. She's so tired of dating already. And I do feel like she just started a bit too early. Um, and she alludes to the fact that dating is not worth it right now. She's saying that she has a lot going on in her career and her children and things like that. And she just really doesn't feel like dating fits into what she's trying to accomplish at the moment, which alludes to her. Yeah, y'all. She broke up with him. She broke up with Charles. We move to a scene of Tia preparing to get on the phone. And she even kicks out the TV studio. Only Tia would be like,
I know I'm on a reality show, but I can't show you guys my reality, like not for real. So y'all gotta go.
girl, yes, we wanted to hear the phone call. Goodness. Like, if you go and see, even that was a little selfish moment, right? Because if you're going to cut this man off, at least let us see and or hear that he bowed out gracefully, so that that can be the last check mark for the next woman that comes after him, okay? Because best believe he gonna be on them dating sites, and that girl gonna be swiping, and she gonna be like,
Ooh, wasn't he the one that was dating Tia on that show? I wonder how he acted after she broke up with him.
and now she ain't got no answer. You were supposed to give her an answer, Tia. Why would you leave us out of that moment? What Tia is seeing is the pressures of dating. And I think it's good that she's seeing this now, right? She made a point that, and maybe not at this part of the show, but she did make a point that she felt like she was dating because she felt like she had something to prove. She felt like by dating, it was proving that she was over her last situation. But that's not the case. I feel like it's honestly the opposite. Whenever I see someone that's in a really deep relationship and it breaks up and they immediately hop into another relationship, it's giving rebound. It's giving, gap filler. It's not giving that you're looking for something new, that you're really open to something else. Like, it really just gives like, oh, I messed up, or I need to find what I just lost. So I agree. She definitely needs to back off a bit. Dating just isn't the priority right now. And that's fine. That is fine. You don't always have to be actively dating just because you're single, despite what the world may think, right? We're not all out here just watching our clocks waiting to meet someone. Sorry. Anyway, after the call, Jerome does come in and he just encourages her and tells her, like, you're doing the right thing. This is what healing looks like. This is what growing looks like. And it's just a blessing to see their relationship. They obviously pour into each other as cousins, as friends, as confidants. And it's just beautiful that he was there for her in that moment. And she didn't have to feel, alone, because it is a tough moment to just let someone down in that way. So I thought it was really cool that Jerome was there. Of course, we have to have a walk with the girls. We have to have a kiki with the girls, right? So she's walking outside with Sierra and Natasha. And of course, Natasha is being her usual self. She's pointing out all of the things that Tia did wrong, all the red flags that Charles had. It's just like, come on, girl. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. Tia just informs them, that she broke it off with him, that it was just too much. And she talks about how he showed up for the date that she had forgotten about. And they're like, showing up where? And she's like, to my house to pick me up. And even I was like,
You're what?
are you kidding me? That was the one time that I really agreed with Natasha. Because Natasha was like, absolutely not. Okay. There is no way. I will meet you there for months on end until I fully trust you. And I completely agree. You don't let people just come up in your house willy nilly. Like, that's not how it goes. You got to make sure you're, vetted properly. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure Sierra and Natasha did all of the background diving and shoot, they probably did a background check on him and everything. So I'm sure there's no flaws with him in that way. You would hope, we would pray. But I agree with Natasha on that one. Okay, Tia, you don't let people just come over your house. I don't care. So it's Jerome's last night with Tia, and she takes him out to dinner. And he just, she just pours into him and says how amazing he is again, and vice versa. And he just encourages her to keep going. And he even cooks Cairo like some chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast the next morning before he leaves to go to the airport. And it's just so cute. Like, you can tell that they created this little bond, and she really looks forward to him being around just as much as her mom does. So I thought that was beautiful. And she's just so cute when she's like eating and she does this little dance. She looks just like Tia. It's crazy. She has all of her mannerisms and facial expressions, and it's so cute. It's so adorable. So yeah, I thought that was really cute. And oh, we'll see you later, Jerome. I'm glad that Jerome was in the show. I think Jerome brings out an amazing side of Tia, and it lets us see her soft side and her playful side. So I loved him on the show, and I think I would love to see more of him for sure. So we end the episode with the girls having ladies' night. Tia just invites Natasha and Sierra over for a cool, chill night. She hires a private chef, a celebrity chef called Chef Richard, and the glasses were bomb, by the way. Like, his style was pretty cool. And apparently he cooked down. Like, you can see he made like a short rib pasta with some shrimp. And why do I know what was on the menu? That shows you how I'm always eating. Because why did I pay such deep attention to what they were eating? Because I wanted a plate. I wanted a plate. It looked really good. But yeah, I thought that it was just really cute that they were able to get together, have some wine, have some food, and really just pour into each other. Tia just talks about how much she loves them as sisters, as friends, how she feels like they are her protectors, which is definitely on brand because they have played that role this entire season. Just nothing like sisterhood. Nothing like sisterhood. Now, there was a little dig at Tamara again in this moment, right? Because Tia says that Natasha is in a relationship, but she dropped everything and stayed with her for 3 days. The first time that the kids stayed at Corey's house and there was no one at the house with Tia. Where was Tamara? Where was Tamara? And she even says, like,
I mean, Natasha's in a relationship, but she was able to come. Like, that's a friend.
whoa, where was your sister? Is that a dig? Is that a dig? Now, granted, I don't know if Natasha has kids. We know that Tamara got 2 kids, and they're still relatively small. Like, and she lives in Napa. I'm sure that's like hours away from where Tia is. So yeah, I don't want any more subliminals, Tia. Okay, if you're not gonna tell us what's going on with Tamara, then keep her name out your mouth. That's how I feel. If you're not gonna give Tamara a mic and let her come into the selfie cam stick section and give her side of the story, and then we get to, you know, piggyback off to both of y'all and see what's going on. I don't want to know. Don't tell me if you're not going to tell me the whole story. Okay. So that was the final scene of episode 6. I'm excited for the next episode. Apparently, she's going on a girls' trip. She's finally going to Vegas. So we get to see a little action. We get to see some stuff outside of the house. I'm excited to go to Vegas with them, and have a little girls' trip virtually with them. But let me know in the comments what you felt about this episode. Let me know how you feel. Do you think that her and Tamara are really beefing? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on those notifications. We're almost done with this season. I think we have about 2 or 3 more episodes. So make sure that you're tuned in so that we can see how she closes out this season. Well, I appreciate you watching and conversing with me. Make sure you check out my other videos. I did do a reaction on Love is Blind. I'm still finishing out the show so that I can do my ending reaction, but make sure you check out that, and I'll see you guys next time. It's your girl, Vashti Denise.